Jenifer Skues, and Jenifer comes on every week, I understand, to share about emotional health in a very popular, looked forward to segment. And welcome, Jenifer. What have you got for us today?
Thank you. Well, we've been looking to relate to each other, the relationships. So I've got a bit of a tongue twister this morning.
Yeah.
So we're going to look at how they break down, because relationships are meant to be very positive. As we know, we all want a great relationship. We want to love and be. And this is called Gems by a gentleman by the name of Leo Buscaglia. And he's a Christian man, and he talked about different aspects of love. And he said, to love others, you must first love yourself. Biblically, we know to love others, we've got to love ourselves, but to love ourselves, we have to love God. So God has to be, or Christ has to be first in the ladder. Mm-hmm. Then we know we're loved, and because we're loved, we can love others. And God is other-centered. So when that happens, we can have great relationships.
So do you mind me asking, are we talking about relationships like marital relationships, husband and wife, or are we talking about all relationships?
All relationships.
Yeah, right.
It doesn't matter whether it's your friend, whether it's someone we work with. It's the same process that we go through, because we want to be other-centered, whether it's your husband, your wife, your children, your friends, family, people you meet. We want to show that love and respect. So, and the Bible's very clear on that. So at the moment we're looking at all relationships, but you can actually apply it individually, because not everyone listening will be married, or will be with someone, or might not have children. But it doesn't mean we can't do this process.
I'm interested to hear what this process is.
Okay, well, at the moment, it's looking at how do relationships break down? What's your experience, or can you recall what's happened when things have gone wrong with, say, a friendship or at home? What sort of things do people do that actually can damage a relationship? Any ideas? If not, I'll give them to you.
Yeah, there's unfortunately more times that relationships are broken down than I would like to have had in my life, and things like lack of trust, misunderstanding,
yes,
lack of communication is also a big one.
Yep.
Yeah,
Absolutely. They're all things that happen, but the first stage of criticising the other person. Okay, so we critique them, or we complain about them, and usually we complain not to that person, we complain to everyone else. We start telling them how awful that person is, and look what they said to me. We might criticise or make a personal attack, right? We attack the character of that person. And it might start in little ways. I don't like the way they said that, or I don't like they didn't do this, or I'm doing it now. Right? It's like we're pulling that person apart. So when you hear yourself criticising, that's that red flag that says stop and have a look at that person. And as we go, we'll have a look at what you can do with that. So if I criticise someone, and I've done this in my past, none of us are squeaky clean, unfortunately.
So what about if we want to criticise someone that we don't know, like Donald Trump or something? Does the same apply? Do the same rules apply?
Well, I think we need to be gracious and not, and again, I think the Bible's clear on this, not to slander anyone, not to condemn others or judge them, but we can observe them. We can observe their behaviours and look at what they do versus who they are, because I don't know Donald Trump really. I don't know him personally. So how can I do that critique? But I look at what he does or decisions he makes, and that's what I'm critiquing. I don't agree with, or look at the consequences. So it's not about not seeing the problem. It's about how you view it and how you point it out. Right? So if someone isn't happy with you and they come to you and talk to you about it, if they come and attack you, and this is the criticism, oh, you're a terrible person, you said this to me, and we start attacking the person, then that's the problem. That person's going to put a brick wall up. Right? Whereas if we go to the person and point out, say, look, the other day when we were speaking, you said this, is this what you meant? And check it out. That makes a huge difference, because someone can say, oh, no, I didn't mean that at all. Or if they did and the way they said it wasn't very nice, then we can discuss it and work with it, if that makes sense. Right? So it's about what you can do with it, and because when you, what we call set a boundary, you don't attack the person, you attack the problem or the behaviour. So it might be the way they spoke to you, right? You might be pointing out their tone of voice or the words they used, and then you might say, I don't mind you telling me I've done the wrong thing, but I'd appreciate it if you did it this way or that way. Right? And this is where you build friendships, or you build any relationship, by being gracious. And I think one of the rules of thumb I do, if I'm upset with someone and I can see I'm criticising them, I go, well, hang on, what would Jesus say to them? What would he? Yeah. And, would he have said that? And I go, oh, no. And then we look at the forgiveness process with God and with the other person. But it's one way of, or how would I like them to tell me, is another way to do it.
So constructive feedback is a good thing, yeah? But
what was that? Sorry.
So constructive feedback can be a good thing. Like it rather than run away or hide or ignore problems, dealing with them, but dealing with it the right way, yeah?
Yes, and if we do it at the beginning, when it starts, we don't build this brick wall where people distance themselves. If someone is being hostile towards me, I don't want to go near them. I want to avoid them. And that's hard when you're living in the same house with those people, you see. So this is where, if we can, there's that term, nip it in the bud. If we can actually deal with the problem when it comes up, instead of sitting on it, and what we do, we internalise it, we go over it, and then we build it in our own mind. Yeah.
And you know what? I think I really like that one part where Jesus says, if someone takes your cloak, give them your tunic also. If someone takes your jacket, give them this also. It's like if you're in a situation that is you feel like you've been done wrong by, then it's always better to not hold the grudge, but to say, you know what, I'm gonna try and get to the bottom of this. Instead of fighting it off, I'm gonna try and get to the bottom of this. And the way that works is by the forgiveness process and communication.
Absolutely. And that's what we're talking about. So, because relationships, I don't believe just happen. It's something we have to work at. And even when we've been looking at marital relationships, and even when you meet someone and you fall in love, that's not going to go on forever. There's got to be a lot more to build the relationship. And this is the sort of thing we're looking at. Because when
I'm curious with what you just said there. It's not going to go on forever. Does that mean the relationship that you've just started, Carl, is guaranteed not to last forever? Is that what you're saying?
No, that love we talked about, falling in love. It's a chemistry process, chemical. And when the chemistry starts to die down, we have to build the relationship.
I can relate to that. I've been married for 14 years, and I hear what you're saying.
And I've been, I've had a girlfriend for the last 2 months. Coming up today or tomorrow, it's 2 months.
Yes.
And and I can definitely say, that the excitement is still there, but I'm ready for it to start dipping down into more of a foundation of principle rather than something that
time. Yeah, and we have to put that in. We can't wait for the other person. We have to find out, what do they like? What are they interested in? Because I find when you're other-centered, which God is, and the more you give, the more you give attention to that person, the more they open up and the more it grows. Right? That's like a healthy relationship. And mind you, there are people out there who have had such awful trauma in their life and abuse, and we're not, and that can go back to childhood, that there's a lot more help they need to be able to get into a healthy relationship. But most people or many people, they've had upsets and we've been hurt and disappointed, but we need to get beyond that and being able to stop looking at our own problem and look at how we can give something to someone else. Right? And it might be just someone we meet in the street. Like I go shopping, for example, and there's some elderly lady there trying to get things off the shelf or struggling. And you offer to help, and I often get, no one ever offers, and you start talking to that person, right? You're relating to them. So we're looking at relationships all the way through our daily life, not just that special one. Yeah. But whatever it is, we've got to put the effort in, and that will make a big difference.
So we've still got a minute or so or even almost 2 minutes, Jenifer, to wrap up what you're sharing with us. So do you want to give us some key takeaways as to how to deal with relationship breakdown and how to rebuild and also build happy, healthy relationships?
Okay, because we're going to spend a few weeks on this, but the first step, as we said, is a criticism. So I'm encouraging people to start to self-reflect. Whoever's listening, go at the other person and what they're doing wrong, and what am I doing wrong? Am I responding badly? Am I feeling bad about that person? Am I condemning them or judging them? And take ownership of the way you react to people when they might do the wrong thing or you think they've done the wrong thing. And that way have a look at what could I say to that person to sort it out. If not, we carry it around and it gets worse. And we will continue to look at that over the next few weeks and look at how can we rebuild as we go.
I'm looking forward to this. This is a very practical, important series that everyone can relate to. We all have relationships and friendships. Thank you.
And we want good quality. We want loving relationships.
Yes.